In this video, you will learn to multiply decimals by a whole number. Now, if you can multiply regular numbers together, you can multiply numbers with decimals as well. Because to begin, you're going to go through the same process. So you multiply the numbers just like normal, but the only thing is at the end, you just need to count how many digits are after the decimal point in the number you're multiplying. Because whatever that number is, that's how many digits are after the decimal point of the solution. So for example, we have 2.78 times 4. So to begin, you multiply like normal. 4 times 8 is 32, so you take the 2, carry the 3. So then 4 times 7 is 28, plus 3 is 31. So we take the 1, carry the 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So the numbers we need are 1, 1, 1, 2. Now the question is, where does the decimal point go? Well, notice in the number that I multiplied with, there are 2 numbers after the decimal point. So in my final answer, there needs to be 2 numbers after the decimal point as well. So the decimal point goes right here after the 11. So it's 11.12, because now we have 2 numbers after the decimal point. All right, so that's pretty much it. Here is another example though, where now we have 2.708 times 4. So you multiply like normal. 4 times 8 is 32, so you take the 2, carry the 3. 4 times 0 plus 3 would be 3. And then 4 times 7 is 28, so we take the 8, carry the 2. 4 times 2 plus 2 is 10. So the numbers we have is 10832. Now the question is, where does the decimal point go? Well, in the original number, we had 3 numbers after the decimal point. So in our solution, we need 3 numbers after the decimal point as well, which puts the point right here after the 10. So our final answer is 10.832. Okay, let's look at one more example where we have 2.7008 times 4. So here again, multiply like normal. 4 times 8 is 32, so we take the 2, carry the 3. 4 times 0 plus 3 is 3, and then 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 7 is 28, so we take the 8, carry the 2. 4 times 2 plus 2 is 10. So the number we have is 108032. Now the decimal point is going to be determined based off the number that I multiplied with. So right here, 2.7008, there are 4 numbers after the decimal point. So in my final answer, there should be 4 numbers after the decimal point as well. So that would put the decimal point right here after the 10. So our answer for this one should be 10.8032. I know I said one more example, but let's actually try one more. And this one is with a number multiplied by a 2-digit number. So we have 2.78 times 45. So it's $2.78 times 45. So when you multiply like you normally would. You take the 5, multiply it by the 8, 7, and 2. So 5 times 8 is 40. Take the 0, carry the 4. Then we do 5 times 7 plus 4. That's 35 plus 4, which is 39. So take the 9 and then carry the 3. 5 times 2 plus 3 would be 13. And then we can repeat that process with the 4 down here. So we put a 0 underneath, and then we take the 4, multiply it by the 8, 7, and 2. 4 times 8 is 32, so we take the 2 and then carry the 3. 4 times 7 plus 3 is 31. 28 plus 3 is 31. So we take the 1 and then carry the 3, and then we do 4 times 2 plus 3, that would be 11. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So we just add these together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 2 is 11. We take the 1, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 1 in the front. So these are the digits we need, and now the decimal point, we need to determine where that goes. Well, same exact process with all the other examples. We have 2 digits here after the decimal point, which means our decimal point needs to be put right here so that there's 2 digits after the decimal point in the answer. So your answer is going to be $125.10. That is your solution. Now, one last thing is when you're multiplying decimals by a power of 10. When you multiply anything by 10, it's going to make our solving process much simpler. So what I do is basically just move the decimal point over a certain number of places. So to determine that, we count how many zeros are the number that we're multiplying by, and then move the decimal point over that many places. So for example, if we had 4.25 times 10. So notice we're multiplying by a 1 with 1 0 after. So what that means is I move the decimal point over to the right one place. So my answer is 42.5. Now if we had the same number and we multiplied by 100. Here there are 2 zeros after the 1. So I move the decimal point over 2 places. So 1, 2 over after the 5 to get our answer of 425. Now if we multiplied by 1000, there are 3 zeros. So I move the decimal point over 3 places. So it goes 1, 2, then we have to add a 0 at the end to move it over a third place, and that gives us 4,250. Now we can keep this going. If you multiply by 10,000, we now have 4 zeros after the 1, so the decimal point moves over 4 places. I'm going to do it up here to give a little more room. Move it over 4 places, 1, 2. Now we need 2 more places to the right, so 1, 2 more. And I need to add zeros to move it over 2 more places. So my answer would now be 42,500. And one last time, if we do it times 100,000, we now have 5 zeros after the 1. So I move the decimal point over 5 places. So up here we had moved it 4 places. To move it 5 places, we just add another 0 at the end, and that gives us 425,000. And that concludes our lesson for today. We will see you next time.